You're deep. The Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. Check, we Ric Flairing on them niggas. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairing, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops and find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like them other guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing son up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack, Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man, A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at, no cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts, my advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walk it, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
Right out.
Man, what is going
going on? What is going on? You're back. We're back again. It's your boy Scotty, and you're watching Offscript. Now, listen, I gotta tell y'all, listen, I gotta let that ride out. You know when them horns get going, man. Listen, you know I don't know nothing about no bands, but when them horns get going, it's legit. It's legit. All right, I keep trying to tell you, I got the best theme song on YouTube. I keep trying to tell you that. But anyway, listen. So you're watching Offscript now. Today, listen, I got a special guest today. I'm too geek to have him on. He's a FAMU, a SWAC insider. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into that. But first, if you haven't joined the Offscript membership, what is you doing? Like, come on, man. Like, listen, you watching me watching you. Like, come on. Like, go ahead. It's 3 levels. Listen, $4.99. All right. I'm not, listen, that's less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Stop it. And you get one every day. Stop it. Come on now. Stop it. Okay. So go ahead and join the Offscript membership. You'll see it all through the chat and everything like that. Now, first of all, I want you guys to give a warm welcome. We're going to get into this Alabama State and FAMU game first. All right. So I want y'all to get a warm welcome to my special guest today, Mr. Kofi Hemingway. What's going on with you, Mr. Kofi? How you doing?
Let's go, man. I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm trying to be on the people like you.
Hey, listen, I'm trying. You got something. Yeah, show the people the fit. That Jake
Yes,
nice.
sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
that Jake nice.
Yes, sir.
Oh, he in there all day. So listen, Mr. Kofi, I appreciate you. And everybody who know, Mr. Stephen Campbell hooked this up for us. Like he linked us up together and was like, "Hey, Scotty, I think he'll be great on your show." And I was like, "Oh, let's make it happen." So he's here. He's gonna give you the FAMU breakdown, and we gonna get right into the questions. Now, you got any questions for me, or you got something to say before we get started?
Well, man, this is my first time here, man. So I'm trying to behave myself and be cool. Because anybody that knows be like, Lord, what is this joke about to say? But all right. So I'm trying we good.
Mr. Hemingway, see, that's what this channel's about. You know what I'm saying? Like you let it go, you let it flow. However you feeling, whatever, you got to get it off your chest, like, because this ain't politically correct out here. Also, it's not that. All right. You let it go. If you like, man, I can't stand you can't stand them. That's just how it go. All right. So let's get into it. I got some. Let me get to these comments. FAMU for the win. Florida, stand up. You got some people in here for you. FAMU by 21. Somebody said FAMU by 21. You got people in here repping fam. What? Yeah. Okay. Explain this. Strike again. Are we talking about bowling? What we doing? What we doing? Like,
all right, now you trying us now with that foolishness and everything. Now let me give you the history lesson of how this happened.
Okay.
All right.
Talk to me.
So one of our presidents was giving the pep talk to Bragg Stadium, and of course, you know, just as Rattlers, when Rattlers strike, that's what we do. So he came up with this I want to say monologue that when the dark clouds gather over the horizon and the thunder and lightning hit the sky, and so it's just a part of the whole collegiate pageantry thing. Florida State has that little war chant thing that they do, and you has several things that are part of our tradition. This is just one of them. This was really popularized by the late President Frederick S. Humphreys, who is the greatest HBCU president outside of Booker T. Washington. So
that's what's up. What's up. All right, appreciate the history lesson. I don't know much about FAMs. But anytime I see that history,
I see that. Yeah,
I thought y'all was talking about bowling, like strike.
No, you knew we wasn't talking about no bowling.
Strike again. I thought it was like a turkey because you get 3 strikes in a row. It's a turkey, so I thought y'all was killing turkeys. I don't know. I don't listen. Your prerogative. That's what Bobby Brown says. Your prerogative.
Okay.
All right. So first question up. Now, and this goes for both teams. What grade would you give each team a quarter into the season? We've seen Alabama State, we've seen FAM. What's your opinion on that?
I would give Alabama State I would give them a B+.
Okay.
Largely because the expectations for them going in weren't as high as they were for FAMU. But that being said, when I saw them in the spring, I thought they were just about a complete ball club. They were just kind of young, and they really had a couple of opportunities, I believe, with UAPB, and the game got canceled. And they were leading at the time when the game got, postponed because of the lightning. That being said, I mean, they have a tremendous offensive line. They have a great running game. Donald Hill-Ely is one of my favorite coaches in HBCU football. He seems like the perfect guy to lead their program. They've got good, solid quarterback play. They've got speed. They've got power. They've got good special teams. They're pretty much a complete team. Okay. The only thing is, obviously, I wish that our games with these FBS schools, SEC, whatever, would just be a little bit closer. And that's how they would have gotten an A for me. But right now, it's definitely a solid B+.
Okay, and transferring over to FAM, what grade would you give them?
Honestly, I would give us a C-. Okay,
that's real. Okay,
largely because, again, the expectations for our team were just through the roof. We have a number of, we were the defending HBCU national champions, and to come in and then play Jackson State off the cuff after taking 600 days off, it was obvious that the rhythm and the lack of competition
affected it.
It wasn't there. Now, defensively, I would give us an A. Offensively, it was like a D. So we lost to Jackson State. We lost to Jackson State by 1 point. Then we came back and beat Fort Valley, who's obviously pretty good. We had a good game with the University of South Florida, a game that we could have won. But by and large, the Jackson State game is the one that's eating at Rattler Nation's core, just largely because it was 1 freaking point, and it was Dion, and we had all our people there, and we were sitting up there like, we are not finna lose by 1 freaking point. Come on, guys.
Now let's talk about that game. I know, like I said, I know we're kind of going back, but I want to go back to go forward, right?
Why are we going back to that game? I don't want to talk about that Darren game.
I just want to know, how does and you being so involved in FAM and things like that, how did that game propel the coaching? Because I felt what lost that game was coaching. I said it at the end of the game. I said, if I was Coach Willie Simmons, I walk into that locker room and say, you know what, fellas, like I lost this game. You didn't lose. I lost this game. So what do you say to that? And how has that changed going forward, in your opinion?
I agree. Pretty much, just largely because we had running backs that were averaging over 5 yards a carry. There was no need, and they were totally prepared for our air game. They were totally prepared for our passing attack. But every time we handed the ball off, our running backs were getting like 5 yards, 6 yards, 8 yards. I'm like, Darren, hand the ball off. It's a low-scoring defensive game. There's no need to take unnecessary risks. Run the ball. It seemed like it was simple. And, you hear this all the time, that offenses should take what the defenses give them. And we just simply weren't doing that. We were trying to get the ball to the X-Man, who, obviously is one of the best receivers in college football. But, everybody knows that. So guess who's being double covered, triple covered, quadruple covered, trying to make sure that this joker does not beat us. So they were trying to take him away, but the running game was working. We just didn't stick with it long enough. And anytime you lose by 1 point, there's several things that go into that. Even the field goal that we took right at the end of the half, they called timeout, changed their alignment, put 2 guys on the outside. The guy came in and blocked the kick. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Come on. Like, come on, my brother. Come on.
So now we're, you're 3 games in. How has that coaching changed, and how is it prepared for Alabama State? Because, like you said, the Fort Valley game comes up. It's pretty much a tune-up game. You go against South Florida. You play them particularly well. How in your opinion, how has the coaching changed to help you get to where you're at now?
I would say that we have a stronger and a bigger picture of who we are as a team. Every year is different, and every team is different. So the identity of this team is coming into fruition and manifestation. So we're going to see, especially over the next 2 games for this FAMU football team, how this team is going to play going forward.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to the adjustments that we are making offensively. Ryan Stanley was definitely, I want to say, our quote unquote ace in the hole for a number of years. He started since he was a freshman. So, and Ryan Stanley played a lot of games in high school as well.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that we have right now has not really played as a starter that many games from high school up to now, and that's no excuse, because at the end of the day, you get out there on the field, we're expecting you to be able to do something.
Fact.
So, that's just that. But we're gonna see the team come in with, I believe, a lot of intensity, and I want to say a lot of focus, and I'm looking for the adjustments that we're going to be making offensively going forward.
That's what's up. If you're new to the stream, I am in conversation with SWAC Insider, FAMU grad, Kofi Hemingway. He has come into, I hope I'm saying your name right.
You said it right.
Okay, cool. I don't like messing up nobody's name.
Yeah.
Now, getting back to the question. Now, Mr. Kofi, Mr. Hemingway, who are your impact players for this game on both sides of the field, and who are you looking forward to seeing and how they're going to impact the game?
Well, definitely, man. The running game with Alabama State is first and foremost the ace in the hole for them. And Ezra Gray is an All-American candidate. He is an amazing running back. He reminds me a lot of Emmitt Smith with his toughness. He's got a little quickness to him.
Emmitt Smith, okay.
Yeah, he's the real deal, and he's an outstanding young man. And quite frankly, just I don't care about all that whole outstanding young man stuff. But right now, he's an amazing. I mean, he's the enemy right now.
Yeah, I feel you. But he's a good kid.
To mention somebody from Alabama State, so I got to mention somebody from Durham, Alabama State.
I feel you.
But their defense, man, I would say their defense, the way that they get after the quarterback, the way that they got after, I want to say Jackson State's quarterback. Last year in the game that they beat Jackson State, they are a blitz heavy team, and I was watching them against Bethune, and I was looking how fast. I was looking at the different fronts that they were bringing to the table. They out-physical. I mean, they beat Bethune at the line of scrimmage. They changed up their coverages. They did a number of different things. So I would just say the whole Alabama State defense is something that you want to look for in this game.
Okay, now impact players for your team, fam.
Obviously, Rashawn McKay, you have to look at him because he's quarterback. But I'm going to say this. He doesn't have to be the superstar.
That's facts.
He doesn't have to be the superstar. We have so much talent on our offense. I would say watch with Terrell Jennings. And key in on Bishop Bonnet. It's going to be like I
like him.
Bonnie type team. Why did I say Bonnie? Darn it. Clyde and Clyde.
Okay.
I believe that the backfield and the running game is going to be on full display in this particular game.
Now,
and the Rattler defense obviously has been playing lights out all year long. I don't expect for that to change one bit.
This is I'm gonna counter after you, because I feel like the weakest link on your team is your quarterback position. That in the SWAC, you need a comparable quarterback to win. I mean, once again, if we go back to the Jackson State game, you have a comparable quarterback, you win that game. My issue is with Alabama State's defense and Christian Clark being in that nose tackle position. I don't know how well you guys run up against that front. That's my personal opinion when it comes to you guys moving, because now with I like Christian Clark a lot. I think he's one of the best nose tackles in the SWAC, and maybe in the probably top 5 in the FCS when it comes to holding down his spot. Now, I don't understand how you guys are going to move the ball, because if I'm Alabama State, I'll let you throw, because I don't trust Rashawn McKay to do anything, and I'm a double team, and I'm a double team X. So I'd rather live with that.
People say that, but see, I'm an old school guy when it comes to stuff like this. And we've got Terrell Jennings is averaging 9.8 yards a carry. That's versus Jackson State, Fort Valley, and the University of South Florida. He's averaging 9.8 yards a carry. Bishop Bonnet is averaging 4.8 yards a carry. McLeod is averaging 5 yards a carry. I forget the freshman's guy, but he's also averaging 5 yards a carry. Okay. So the thing is, we've been trying to really throw the ball, and I'm just like, the strength of this team is really with the Tote gang. Everybody's been gearing up for us to throw. They've been changing up their defenses. They're doing stuff that we've never seen before. They're coming up with all kind of stuff to stop our passing game. But I mean, if the running game is getting 4 yards of carry in 3 downs, that's a first down, and you maintain the ball, you burn the clock, and you keep your defense, your great defense, off the field. And then you go down, you score. That puts pressure on the other team to have to do more against our defense. That's not going to be an easy task. So again, Rashawn does not have to be the hero. The key is, I believe, what's going to be happening in the trenches and what the play calls are going to look like, and what different little wrinkles we may see with the FAMU offense that we have not seen before.
But that's the thing. If I'm Alabama State, I'm gonna make him the hero. I'm gonna make Rashawn be the hero, because I'm going to, even if you take Jackson State's game plan against you guys, and like you said, you guys are still busting out, 4 yards a carry, 3 yards a carry. Some things you have to live with something, right? I got to take something away, but making Rashawn McKay beat me, I will live with that, and doubling and putting and mind you, if we're being honest, I don't even have to really double X, because I either can put Jaquez or Natron on him if I feel comfortable that they can lock up with them. Now, if he goes to the slot, that's something totally different. But if I'm the defensive coordinator at Alabama State, Rashawn McKay is going to have to make throws. It's just that simple, because I haven't seen it happen, and he's going to have to show me that it can happen.
That's the idea, but the reality is, again, what I think Coach was counting on is that our skill people are really, really good. Like, it's not just the X-Men. It's not just Xavier. It's not just David Manigo. It's not just Chad. We have McLeod. We have a number of different receivers that can do a number of different things. And it's just a matter of putting your people in position. We haven't even really thrown that much to the tight end. We haven't necessarily worked the middle of the field with our play calling. And I would say in the last 3 games, which I think is absurd, and it's just out of the norm. But I'm looking for something different really from this team, and really with this game. I believe that people are going to not necessarily be shocked, but I think that they're gonna be like, wow, now why weren't we doing that the whole time?
Okay, we'll see. We shall see. Now, my next question for you is, what does FAMU need to do for the win?
FAMU needs to run the ball, control the clock, and not turn the ball over. It's that simple.
Just that simple. Okay.
It's that simple. Obviously, we need to score some touchdowns.
I'm like, yeah, that would help.
We need to score, but if you maintain the clock, when you have a good defense like FAMU's defense is, you don't have to be spectacular on offense. You can take your time. You can work the clock. You can be efficient, flip the field, and maintain control of the ball. And that's really, just solid football. I think anybody that watches the Patriots, even over the last few years, even with Tom Brady, it wasn't so much that Tom Brady was the hero. It's that the Patriots were just so efficient with what they were doing. And then you come out and you do something dumb, and then they go back and they score. And before you know it, it's 14-0. Then you come back again, trying to pass, interception, pick 6. Now it's 21. It's like, oh, the Patriots are great. No, they just did what they do. They took away your great person, and they forced you to have to be more efficient than you want to be. And against a Bill Belichick defense, or a tough defense like the Patriots offer, it just puts additional pressure on you. And that's really what good teams do. I was even watching, I want to say, the Georgia Southern teams with Tracy Ham from the late 80s on YouTube, and watching how they would play their championship teams. And I was just like, they're not doing anything necessarily that extravagant, or that difficult. They're just running their plays, running the ball to the outside, working their triple option, getting 4 and 5 yards every once in a while. And then every once in a while, they'll throw it down the middle, first down, and then they kick the ball off. And then the special teams gets a turnover. And then it's like, wow, it's basic football, man. Hat on a hat.
All right. So I got a comment says the FAMU's All-American punter is out with the injury. Is that true?
He is. He's going to be out for the rest of the year, but we have
Fadua's out for the rest of the year.
Pretty much.
Is
But it is what it is. We do have very capable backups. I'm interested to see, though, our blocking schemes. Really with our kicking, because for me, I tend to look at the different things when it comes to special teams. They're like, okay, you can punt, you can kick field goal, but we've had field goals blocked, we've had punts blocked, and I'm like, guys, you're giving away freaking 3.7 points because of these blocks, and that's something that just has to be shown.
When did teams go to this spread blocking formation? It's really, it really burns me up when I'm seeing it because nobody blocks it right.
Listen, and again, here's the deal. I thought that when Auburn beat the University of Alabama, when they kicked that field goal that landed short and the guy ran it all the way back for the touchdown, I thought for sure that special teams around the country were going to look at that and say, you know what? We need to put better athletes out on the field on our special teams. And that hasn't necessarily happened. They put big people out there, but if I put a fast guy out there, a guy with quickness, he's going to get past the big guy, and be able to block the kick. Be able to do stuff. So I'm just like, I don't know what people necessarily looking at. These spread formations are actually getting on my nerves. So I'm like, if you put people in the gaps, and you overload it, they're gonna have enough impact to be able to go in and block the kick.
I mean, growing up, it was growing up is pretty much what the NFL is doing and what the NFL has stayed doing. And it's a compact punt formation. You got 2 outside, because to me, it helps you point out who you're blocking. If I line up just like any other formation and I can point out, okay, even if they load up all the gaps, you my guy, and you always let that far outside man go, and then you have the protector in the back. That's his man to pick up, or whoever, how you do it. You go outside the inside, however you want to block it. But this whole spread formation, I mean, I've seen on film. I watched Southern. I did a film breakdown. I saw when Odoms was coaching. He literally had 3 punts, like by inches. I'm talking about like they should have had 3 block punts. I'm like, how are you still going back to this sport? But that's neither here nor there.
It happened last night, bro. It happened last night with UAPB. UAPB came in and blocked the punt with Prairie View last night, and they did the same thing versus Alcorn the week before because of these dumb spread formations that they're doing with their punt blocking unit.
You can let it out.
Ridiculous. Get on my nerve.
All right, going to the opposition. What does Alabama State need to do for the win?
It's the same thing. They gotta control the clock. Can't turn the ball over, and they gotta score. It seems simple, but it's really not. And they've had some issues with their turnovers in the last, I would say, really in all 3 of the games. Versus Miles, versus Bethune, and versus Auburn. All 3 of those games, turnovers have a way of shifting momentum, especially when you're on the road. So you have to be mindful. You have to be efficient. You just have to do what you got to do. But turnovers is going to be, don't turn the ball. If they turn the ball over, it's not going to be good for them.
Okay, so before I get into who wins and what's your score, this is how I'm viewing it, right? If I told you Alabama State's defense and FAMU's defense is a push, would you agree with that?
I can see how the thought process is definitely there.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it. I mean, Alabama State's defense is good. I mean,
yeah,
they're really good. But I do believe.
Okay, let's break it down like this. Let's break it down.
Yeah.
We know you safeties, y'all got it. We ain't even gonna talk about so safeties, you got it. Corners, they got it. Jaquez and Natron, they got you beat. It's nothing you can say about that. They got you beat. D line, now we're in a you want Christian, you want Savion, you want your freshman 92. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, linebackers with a healthy Bubba. With a healthy Bubba, I'm taking Alabama. I'm taking Alabama State.
With a healthy Bubba, but
what I'm saying? He's pretty injury prone. Yeah, and
I don't know how healthy he is. I know they've been talking about it. We talked about it on our show a little bit. I don't know. He's supposed to be back for this game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a big game, bro. It's like, it's a big game. Go ahead.
So with that, I can say that's a push, right? Now, offensively, where is this going? Because I think that's where, because for me, I think offensively is where Alabama State, for me, leans a little bit. They're pulling away from you. Now, you have skill players. You got Bishop Bonnet. Well, I match you with Ezra Gray. You got Terrell Jenkins. I can match you with Ja'Cory Merritt. You have X. Well, I can't match you with none on X. I can't match anybody on X for that, But quarterback, I take Ryan Nettles over Rashawn McKay any day of the week. Any day of the week. So, and that's the most.
You gonna get off my boy Rashawn McKay now? That's about a guy, boy, sitting up there talking about Rashawn. You gonna get off Rashawn? But look, he does not have to be the hero for us to win this game. And I know that people are saying, "Oh, I'm gonna make him the hero." He has a good arm. He did not have a bad game against the University of South Florida. He did not have a bad game against Fort Valley. In fact, when he came in against Fort Valley, the game shifted. He's a studious guy who people haven't seen a whole lot of film on, but he's more than capable of getting the job done. And the quarterback room, as quiet as it's kept, it's not bad. I'm not necessarily pissed. Now, it's just 3 games in. People tripping, right? But Jackson State's defense is an FBS level defense, straight up. And I think that the longer this year goes, I think people are going to see how good this defense is.
I think the scheme is FBS level.
They've got the personnel. They've got better personnel than they had in the spring. Would you agree? They've got stronger personnel. They've got Division I talent, FBS talent that they got in from the spring. They're faster, they're bigger, they're stronger, and their DBs have excellent technique. That's something that Deion's going to preach. They have good, solid run defense. They have excellent speed. I'm not saying that they're not
beatable.
I think that they are, but it's an FBS level defense. They're good. And I would say even Fort Valley shut Tuskegee out. They shut Tuskegee out. Tuskegee put 35 points on Alabama A&M. 35. They put 35 on them. So, University of South Florida is a Division I team. Quiet as it's kept, they almost beat BYU, who's a ranked FBS team on the road. They're not championship level USF that we have seen in years prior, but they're not a pushover, and they're a legitimate Division I team with Division I talent. Had we had better play calling, I would say in the red zone where we were, I mean, we left literally 2 field goals. Just got mishandled because our holder got out of the game, who was Fadul. That was an act. That was I want to say that was an aspect of what happened. And then Xavier dropped a touchdown pass. So that's 3, 6. That's 13 points that we left, on the board. That game could have been very easily 31-24 or 38-31.
Fair. That's fair. So this is my thing, right? Well, I'm gonna let you. Okay, who wins? Score, and what's your hot take?
I'm gonna say FAMU wins because we haven't lost it at Bragg in a minute. So if you're gonna win at Bragg, you've got to be pretty flawless. And when Rattler Nation is dialed in, they are a hidden factor that a lot of people don't talk about. I'm going to say that FAMU wins. I'm going to say they're going to win 31-14. I would say at the worst, maybe 31-21, but I believe they're going to win 31-14. And I would say look for the FAMU defense to really push and get about 3 turnovers, and that's going to be the difference in the game.
All right, so I wanted to go with Fam. I really did.
You hating, bruh.
I really did.
Bragg Nation, bruh.
But listen, McKay, I can't trust McKay. The last time I saw McKay, he was looking like a deer in the headlights when Jackson State was coming for him. That's what it looks like. That's what he looked like.
That game,
So,
we had that was horrible play calling for one.
I'm gonna call a spade a spade. So this is my score. Good. Alabama State 28, FAMU 21. Now, I really feel, if I'm being 100% honest, I think I might go 6-2 on this game. I think FAMU might make me a liar. I really do, because I don't trust Ryan Nettles' consistency, but I don't trust McKay at all. I mean, I trust him as far as I can throw him, and I can't, and I ain't that good. So that's my thing. So for me, I know the defense is a push. And I just trust Rashawn. I trust Ryan Nettles just a little bit more than McKay, and
bruh,
that's where it's at with that
defense is for real. So what people gonna see, just like I said, Jackson State's defense is an FBS level defense. FAMU's defense is an FBS level defense, and people are gonna find that out a whole lot sooner than later. And
I just want to know where you get all these points from.
Wins championships.
That's what I'm trying to get. I don't understand where you getting all these points from.
I know. I didn't see it coming against Bethune. I didn't think that Alabama State was going to score those many points on Bethune, but they did. They were at home. They came out with a ton of intensity. They got turnovers. They flipped the field, and they were able to run the ball. The talent level on FAMU's offense is there. It's just a matter of what comes down to it is really execution. And I'm counting on the play calling. I'm counting on the shift in philosophy to garner some points for the orange and the green. I think we're going to be fine. Okay.
Now, I do take calls on this show. Do you mind taking one call? It's an older gentleman. He's pretty.
I don't care. You can call it. It's your show.
I just want to make sure if you were comfortable with it. Hey, what's up, Mr. Ford? Talk to me. Mr. Ford. Hey, what's up, Mr. Ford? Yeah, I can hear you. Talk to me. You live.
Listen, Ryan Nettles is not a championship quarterback. I did like you did. You said one day you had went back and looked at him. He is so unpolished. Alabama State is like the Cleveland Browns. They solid at every position except quarterback. That Nettles kid is he's not. I'm serious. He's not a championship quarterback. They got talent everywhere. It's going to come down to Ryan Nettles against Rashad McKay. Everything else will cancel itself out. Those two people right there will determine who wins that game at Bragg tomorrow. And I'm going to have to go with McKay because I can't go with Ryan Nettles. But let me say this. That was a grown man playing for Prairie View last night. That boy, Jawan Pass,
Woo!
His best ball is his deep ball.
I keep telling y'all that.
Another thing.
I've been telling y'all that.
Yeah, listen, that's a grown man. That kid from I think he transferred from Louisville.
Yeah.
I told you from Columbus. That's a grown man. That's a grown man. But the thing about him is his best ball is his deep ball. That's his best ball.
Prairie View had two
let me just say
quarterbacks,
this
bro.
too. That offensive line that Prairie View had, I'm impressed with them. Somebody's coaching them. Now, all these people over here in your chat talking about Jackson State gonna run through the SWAC. I'll tell you what, they better get that offensive line straightened out. They ain't running through nowhere till they get that offensive line straightened out. You know me and you done talked about that.
Facts.
They got problems on Jackson State's offensive line. Okay, Scott, appreciate it. I just wanted to say that.
All right, Mr. Ford.
Okay.
That's my local historian, Mr. Hemingway. He gives me all the SWAC 1970, 80, 90, all that type of stuff.
Ooh, I'm down with it, bro. I'm down with it. But yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mr. Ford.
No, we have a long way to go in this SWAC year. I know that Prairie View is up right now. They're 3-0 in the SWAC, but they still have Alcorn. They still have Southern, and I believe they play Alabama State as well, bro. Yeah. So we got a little ways to go. I think that they are definitely, in my opinion, and I stated this on our show, that I felt like they were the dark horse pick in the West.
Oh, PV.
Yes. Prairie View.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll jump in that real quick. So I watched him from Baptist. I watched him at Baptist. I watched him at Southern, and on my channel, I've said this numerous of times. I said his intermediate game, not very good. His intermediate throwing is at best. Deep ball, he throws the best deep ball in the SWAC.
But that wasn't the difference. But again, that wasn't the difference in the game. Prairie View came out and ran that ball down their throat, and they had like multiple big plays in the run game.
Hold up. We weren't watching the same game because
you talking about Prairie View. You talking about Prairie View and
we talking about
UAPB last night.
If we talk, the big run he had with Jawan, that's cool. But my thing is this: every big play they needed to keep the drive going, who was making the throw? Every fourth down play, he was making that. He throws.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Yeah. What I am saying is Prairie View's offensive line.
Oh, they imposed their will. Yeah, they imposed their will.
What do you say?
They imposed their will.
Yeah, they imposed their will, bro. It was evident. Like Prairie View was not threatened when they needed. I mean, they're just nice, smooth, consistent running plays with multiple running backs. Mm-hmm. They were able to control the flow of the game. It didn't matter who was in there, and they kept bringing people in. They changed up 2-back sets, and then they break off one, and that was evident, bro. That physicality that they came with was legit, and it was also evident with Prairie View's defense.
All right, Mr. Hemingway. Before I let you go, I need your opinion on this. Grambling and Alabama A&M. What? Give me your thoughts and your opinions.
Okay, so Alabama A&M has been playing intense football games since the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. At some point, they're going to lay an egg. Now, they're about to hit a crucial stretch in their schedule. And when I say crucial, it's crucial. In fact, I believe that it begins this week. They're on the road.
Hold on. Before you go, if anybody doesn't know, that's Grambling, Jackson State, FAM, and Alabama State. That's their next, after Grambling, those are the next 3 games. Jackson State, FAM, and Alabama State. That is a tough stretch. I don't care who you are. It's a tough stretch. Go ahead.
That's 4 games in a freaking row. Mind you, they have already played South Carolina State, where they won by 1. Mm-hmm. They played Bethune. They got out of that one. Mm-hmm. They played Tuskegee. They won that one, but that's a Division II school, and Tuskegee scored 35 points. Mm-hmm. Grambling is a much better team than they were in the spring. They're more confident. They're going to come out with a ton of intensity. I'm saying they're not championship. They're not championship, but they're better than they were in the spring, bro. They won a game, and they beat Tennessee State is not championship Tennessee State, but it's still Tennessee State. That's an OVC school. They play good, solid ball. Grambling's not going to be a pushover. Alabama A&M is going to have to win, but I'm going to say Alabama A&M by 7.
Okay. Listen, Mr. Hemingway, you get me on the train, then you drop me off somewhere. I'm like, where am I at? Like, Grambling is better than they were in the spring. They have no offensive power. I mean, literally, they couldn't score on a Pop Warner level.
People are tripping because they're freaking played Prairie View, bro. Prairie View showed everybody last night that their defense is legit. UAPB was running up and down the field versus Alcorn. They came in Prairie View, and that job got shut all the way down. People say they was flat. Prairie View was helping them to be flat and to look very flat.
So Tennessee State, they ran the ball like 44 times. And the score was like, what, 17-10, 17-9, something like that?
You do not have to be fancy to win football games.
And Tennessee State is just as bad. Just as bad.
This is not a good Tennessee. But, you know, I'm giving Eddie George a kind of, sort of.
Yeah. He gets a pass. Yeah, he gets a pass. He gets a pass. Fathers don't get no pass. He ain't get no pass.
No. He's on the hot seat, and his seat is warming up. But what I will say is Grambling is one of those teams. When you play one of the blue blood programs, you have got to play good, solid football. And as quiet as it's kept, Grambling's defense is not bad.
Oh, it's good. No, they're good.
And that alone is the thing that should give Grambling ice. Is that what they call them? What they call them?
Gramblings. I don't. Gremlins, Gremlin Knights, Gremlins. I don't know.
All right. Well, whatever they call them, they got a little hope because of the Grambling State defense, and that's where my focus is. I think that if Glass gets in a tight game versus whatever quarterback Grambling is going to start, Gram fam. That ain't what they call y'all. That's just y'all nickname. Y'all made that up, Gram fam. It ain't no darn Gram fam.
I think this is a Grambling Knights. Yeah, Grambling Knights.
Yeah, all right. So again,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It ain't Graham fam. I like Graham
G-Men. I have heard that before.
That's for the football team. That ain't
okay.
for the, like Jaguar Nation, Rattler Nation. We know who they are.
Yeah, gotcha.
Or fam Ewans. All right. Let me get back to my darn point. All right. Grambling's defense is legit. And I believe that they're going to challenge Mr. Glass to be great. And I think if Grambling gets 3 turnovers or 2, and because they've been turning the ball over, they get 3 turnovers, Grambling's going to be right there. And it's not like Alabama A&M's defense is quote unquote stellar. They gave up 35 points. They gave up 35 points against Tuskegee. That's not a good look. So that tells me that Grambling is going to be able to score something. And if Grambling's defense shows up, they're going to have a good chance to pull off this upset, because this is right before the whole get more 5 stars game, which everybody is looking for.
Get more 5 stars game. Oh, man.
Everybody looking. We all looking for that. Next week, everybody going to be like,
Boy, locked in. October 9th. I should get it tatted on me. It's going to be so real.
We're going to be like right there.
Boy, everybody going to be locked in. I'm going to be at the game, too. So, I agree with you about 50%. I know Grambling's defense is legit. Right, I know that. The issue this is what I'm looking for in this game. If Grambling scores over 20 points, Alabama A&M has problems.
Absolutely, and they're going to score over 20 points because Alabama A&M's defense has not held anybody under 20 points all year long. What evidence do you have that's going to say that Alabama A&M's defense is going to hold somebody. It don't matter if they're Division I, Division II, Division III. They have not held anybody, not nary person, under no darn 20 points all year long. So you can count on Grambling scoring 20 points, which is why I'm giving Grambling a shot at this game and pulling off this upset.
So this is how I see it. You've been saying
I don't trust
I don't trust Grambling's offense.
You got all y'all trust issues and everything.
I don't trust it. You know, that's how I pick my teams. I gotta believe you. That's the reason I'm 5-1 on my picks, Mr. Hemingway, because I gotta trust in you. The only person that let me down was Alcorn against North Central. 6-1. Yeah, my girl said I'm 6-1. Yeah, 6-1. Check the stats. I'm 6-1. So I'm pretty good at this thing. I do this thing, you know what I'm saying? So the Alabama State's kind of like a lock, you know? Shout out to Alabama State. Once I pick you, you're good. Once I pick you, you're good to go. So this is my thing. With Grambling, once again, they can't score. Their offensive line is bad. They're starting a freshman quarterback. This is a time I need you to get right. I need Alabama A&M to get right going to the game. They cannot overlook this game. It's a trap game. This is a definition of a trap game. How do
you overlook Grambling? It's still freaking Grambling. I don't care if they owe in Dern's whatever. Grambling is still Grambling. You have to look at this game like this team has championship qualities because it's still freaking Grambling. And they have beaten your starry team in times past. So people gonna get up, you know, it's still Grambling. You gotta never overlook Grambling.
At the end of I'm overlooking them. At the end of the day, Alabama A&M. Listen, you gotta put up points with Alabama A&M. I don't care what you have to keep up with Akil Glass. They know who they are. They know they ain't got no defense. So Akil understands, hey, we got to go in and we got to put up points. I know they're going to put up 30 on Grambling. They're going to put that in their sleep. Now it's how much I need to win the game. Is it going to be 37? It's going to be 44. Is it going to be 42? Is it going to be 45? That's where I'm looking at going down the line when it comes to this game. Wow. I have Alabama A&M winning this game 42 to, I'm hoping they can keep them under 20. So I'm going to say 21. But I want them to keep them under 20, but I say 21-42. Alabama A&M.
I'm very mindful of this game that I saw a couple of years ago, and obviously Grambling was better then, but they played Alcorn in their stadium, and Alcorn came in as Alcorn, you know, as a champion. They still won the East, and Grambling played inspirational football and won that darn game. Even against the game that they had against Jackson State in the spring, Grambling was right there on the freaking goal line. They should have won that game. And they would have been 1-4 or whatever they were in the spring. They should have won that game. Whatever that Christmas tree song that they sing for their alma mater, I would be very
something's wrong with you.
Sorry. Oh, Christmas tree. Oh, Christmas tree. I love the I don't even know. All right. Let me leave Grambling people alone. Don't overlook Grambling. They are more than capable of winning this game. I'm a firm believer that defenses win championships. And Akil's I'm just looking at their focus. Alabama A&M hadn't played championship level football. They've been skating by. They've been getting through in these games. If I had to compare them to somebody, I would be like the Las Vegas Raiders of black.
They're the Kansas City Chiefs. You have no defense. You're trusting Patrick Mahomes to do everything. You're trusting Akil Glass to do everything, and you're hoping your offense overcomes your deficiencies at defense. That's literally what you're doing.
And that's going to come back to bite you.
You just got to make stops when you need stops. Right. All right, I'm gonna take one more call before I let you go, Mr. Hemingway. Let's see what they got. Hey, Terry, you live. Talk to us.
Hey, what's up? Hey, bro, catch me up to speed real quick.
What? That's not how this works.
I know, but just catch me up to speed real quick.
We talking about Grambling versus Alabama A&M. That's what we talking about right now.
Okay, so Alabama A&M Grambling, I'm gonna say this. Alabama defense is absolutely trash. And to be honest with you, so just the game of the week this week, right?
Both of them. I got 2 games of the week: FAMU and Alabama State, and Grambling versus Alabama A&M. And the Grambling versus Alabama A&M is really not a game of the week. It's more of a don't get caught up in the trap game, because it's really a trap game. The real game of the week is FAMU and Alabama State. That's the game of the week. What's up?
No, you saying okay? So you said it's really like a trap game. So I was just saying, don't get caught up in the hype.
Well, don't overlook Grambling because Jackson State is around the corner. That's what a trap game is that you overlook the team you got to play this week because you're so focused on the team next week.
Okay. All right. I'm with you. Okay. All right. So we're gonna start with. Well, I'm gonna start with. Who is that? You just said FAM and Alabama State, right?
Man, you about 2 seconds to get hung up on. You better get it together. Get it together,
Bro, I'm.
Got to go.
All right.
Got to go. No, I let you slide. Listen, you can't call into the show talking about catch me up. What kind of foolishness is that? All right, hold on. One more caller, Mr. Kofi. Hey, do you have a caller? You have a question?
Yeah. So I see Akil Glass, and he looks good, but where would you put him as far as a NFL selection this year? Because when I look at, we get focused on like the black college teams, and he's probably the best black college quarterback out now. But when I watch these other games, I'm like, I don't know how good he is overall this year.
You better than McKay.
Right now, he's looking like a fifth-round choice. And I'm glad you
I can't even hear the man talking and everything. You done messed up the call.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, sir. Go ahead. I'm sorry. He's a FAMU fan. He's a FAMU fan. I know this guy. He's a FAMU fan.
Hey,
call.
Yeah. Hey, and coming back, you see, we all like this. It ain't just me. You thought it was just me. No, we all walk in talking shit. So it ain't just me. But Coffee, keep up the great work, man. Set them straight, because they really don't realize what the Rattlers are, but you'll set them straight. Enjoy the show always.
Thank you, my guy. All right.
Yeah.
That's a question to you, Mr. Hemingway. Where would you see Glass being drafted, and what do you rank him in quarterbacks in the SWAC and the FCS if you do either one, or how you want to do it?
Akil Glass is playing good ball. I thought he looked better in the spring, and I don't know if that's because just the competition was a little different.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's going to get drafted, I would say he'd get drafted in rounds 4 through 6.
I was thinking
possibly,
the same thing. Yeah.
Possibly third if a team is, because we're on this. America is seeing HBCUs a whole lot differently, and it's all about who perceives your gift and perceives your worth and how they perceive it. I'm seeing 4 through 6.
I agree with you. I definitely see a 4 through 6 kind of mindset with that. Now, if I'm ranking him in SWAC, he's the number one quarterback in the SWAC. I don't know who are you taking above Akil Glass in the SWAC? I have no idea. FCS, he's probably top 10. He's probably top 10.
Absolutely, he's top 10 in FCS now. But I mean, Pass looked good last night.
Listen, sir. Listen,
I ain't saying he was better than Akil, but he looked, he was big, he's imposing, he's fast. It depends on what you're looking at. I think passing and throwing the football, obviously, Akil.
Yeah. If you want more,
is far and away more savvy, and he's got touch, he's got power, he's got all that stuff. But Pass looked good last night, bro.
Listen, I agree. Pass does look good, and I'm going to flow more to what you're saying about where do you want to, who do you prefer? What kind of system you run? If you need a mobile quarterback, then Pass is your guy. But his intermediate stuff is going to be it's not going to be always there. His deep, listen, you go all goes. Oh yeah, he going to tear you up. He going to tear you up. Right. But Akil, he listen, slow as a seal. Can't get his feet together. He might get you 5 yards on a QB scramble, and that's being very generous. You know what I'm saying? But if you want somebody who can hit all levels efficiently, then you got to go to Akil Glass. All right. Wow, calls are coming in, so I'm gonna take them as you hear. Hey, caller, you loud. Talk to us. You got a question?
What's going on, Scotty? I got a question, Mr. Coffee, man. This Big T.
What's up?
Hey, the safety y'all have from Florida A&M, he need to show up against Alabama State. Now, my question is, do you think he's going to bring that boom that he had it?
There has not been a game.
Providing all year that he didn't bring against Jackson State, but he needs to bring that against Alabama State. What you think?
Well, there has not been a game that Marquise Bell has played in that he has not had a big hit. He had a big hit against what's the Rashawn Sanders? It was a sack.
The sack. It
was a sack.
Yeah,
you know, but I mean, if you got common sense, you would stay as far away from Marquise Bell as you possibly can. Now, the key is, again, he ain't the only one back there. Like Collier's back there too. So this is going to be an SEC old school type game. It's going to be very physical. And yes, Marquise Bell is going to have at least 2 major hits in this game.
Yeah, I was looking at. I'm expecting for him to go no later than either 3rd or the 4th round of the draft, but I can't see him going in the 5th or 6th. So I think he's a whole lot better than what they predicted him to be.
You talking about Bell? You talking about Glass?
In the draft this year.
You talking about Bell, or you talking about who? You talking about Bell or
Bell?
Oh, okay,
Bell.
okay, yeah. Okay. Hey, appreciate the call, my guy. Hey guys, listen, if you're calling into the show, it's not a conversation. You got to ask a question, all right, or give your opinion, and then you got to get off. All right. That's decided. This not like my regular live shows where you can just talk to me back and forth. No, we're not doing that. All right. Now listen, Bell did not show up in a big hit and showing up are 2 different things. Can I say that? Is that fair? A big hit
was there, bro. They stayed as far away from him as they possibly could. Jackson State only scored 7 points.
Listen, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Bell. I'm really not. Now, does he have the measurables? He has every measurable you can possibly think of as a safety position. 6'2", jumps out the gym, runs out the gym. He's just not, to me, he's not that impactful. He's really not. Like, if you want a big hit, okay, great. Shiloh Sanders gives big hits, and to me, he's not all world either. I would take Marquise Bell over Shiloh any day. I'm saying that right now, any day of the week. But I need more from Bell. Like, I don't know. Like, I like Jalen Thigpen because of his ball skills. I see, like, when Jalen Thigpen, when he's not playing cover 0 and they got him all messed up, when he's allowed to play in space and really read the quarterback, I like his football IQ, his what's the word for it? He's just feel for the game. I haven't really seen that from Marquise to be like your ball skills. Now he has like I said, his measurables, he can do it. You want him to play corner, he'll play corner. You want him to play safety, you want him to play linebacker, play linebacker. Like, he's so versatile, that's great. But I just want, as a safety, I just need him to be a little bit more impactful. That's just, yeah. But it's preference, it's all preference. I don't know.
Whatever. Next go. Who's the next caller?
All right, I'm gonna take this one. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to us.
Yeah, I'd like to ask your guest a question. Well, a couple questions.
Go ahead.
How does he feel that this game is a must-win for FAMU since they've already lost one conference game?
Oh, absolutely.
And also, are they still going to run through the SWAC like Swiss cheese?
I don't know. Let me tell you something about Rattler Nation. Win, lose, or draw, Rattler Nation is going to always talk a ton of trash. All right? We gonna pull wolf tickets. We gonna do all kinds of stuff because we just will not shut up. And that's who we are. And
yeah, Mr.
We'll find that that's just who we are. It might be true. It might not be true. The SWAC is a tough conference. I mean, we already got a conference loss, so we're not running through anybody. We have a new quarterback. We've got a new offensive coordinator. All that stuff is evident. There are no excuses that are going to come from Rattler Nation. It's going to be tough. It's tough all the way through. We've got this game. Then we've got South Carolina State next week. We got Valley. Then we've got Grambling, Southern, UAPB, and Cookman. All of that's tough. And we could lose all of those games if we don't come to play. And that's the reality of it. So running through the SWAC as Swiss cheese, that's just trash talk.
Now, you don't win this game, we're
not done as far as winning SWAC East.
I'm about to say, like, that's a wrap.
Our postseason aspirations are out of the window. I mean, we have to win out.
So This,
I think
me,
even
this
now,
this could be a Super Bowl. This could be like, oh,
this is it. This is it. We
now,
have to win out.
now,
Because, really right now what Rattler Nation is thinking, what our football team is thinking is, I mean, it's out of our hands in terms of winning the SWAC East, but in terms of postseason, we could possibly, if we went out, get in the FCS playoffs, which would be something that FAMUers really look forward to, and something that I think would be good for HBCU football to see exactly where HBCU football is. But we have to win this game, absolutely.
Okay, Mr. Kobe, let's take it another direction. Let me ask you about the FCS playoffs and Celebration Bowl. In your opinion, if your team was the #1 team coming out the SWAC East, which would you rather see them go to? Would you rather see them in the Celebration Bowl? Or would you like to see them in the FCS playoffs?
If you win the SWAC East, the Celebration Bowl pays more money. It's you're already in a showcase, especially if you're hosting that game. So you're getting the revenue from hosting the SWAC championship game, and you're getting the revenue from playing in the Celebration Bowl, which is a big deal. Give me the revenue for right now. Now, if we're top 2 and we have an opportunity to play in FCS, I would want to play in FCS. Again, it's good because it's going to show exactly where you are as a program and show you where you need to make those improvements from a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint, and a personnel standpoint, and a coaching standpoint.
Okay, so you're going to the Celebration Bowl for the money. You're going to FCS to see where you stand amongst other FCS teams.
Yeah, an NCAA title is extremely prestigious. It's just that the payout is not going to be what it was. Now, I will say that if an HBCU is in it and they are hosting, there's an opportunity for some revenue generation there, but it's not going to be as much as you're going to make in the Celebration Bowl.
All right, I got a couple more callers for you. Hey, guy, you good? You got your thoughts together?
Yeah.
He must be high. Let's go.
Yeah, come on, man. You about to come on.
Yeah, bro. All right. So, bro. So bro, with the Celebration Bowl. So, to be honest with you, bro, I have been following HBCU football all my life. My brother played football at Jackson State. My sister went to TSU.
Where's the question? I need a question.
No, it's a statement.
Go ahead.
Real quick. Who cares about the Celebration Bowl? Like, I to be honest with you, I just now found out about Celebration Bowl because you've been talking about it. I knew absolutely zero about it. And I'm not in Atlanta. I'm in Memphis. Bro, the Celebration Bowl, our Celebration Bowl is the Southern Heritage Classic. So who cares about that? Grambling, okay, and the game you said it was Alabama A&M versus Grambling. Bro, Alabama A&M defense is garbage. Jackson State offense is garbage.
Okay, you're not on topic, my guy. Nobody said nothing about Jackson State's offense. Nobody said that. We're not talking. I told, if you want to talk about that game, it's not the week of that game. But if you want to answer the Celebration Bowl stuff, Mr. Kofi, go right ahead.
I think if you want real relevance for HBCUs to establish another dimension of relevance, we're going to have to beat the PWIs that are playing in the FCS championship games. People have to see our teams beat the North Dakota States and the other schools. I think that it's possible, but you have to see it. We have to see that happen, and that will change a whole bunch of perception regarding HBCU football. And
let me ask you this, Mr. Kofi, because I've gone both ways with it. I said I don't like the Celebration Bowl, but if that's what you want to keep, cool. But I've also said you can keep what you have, but if you schedule more relevant FCS out of conference games, you can have the bragging rights of beating these predominantly white institutions.
You have to schedule them though, and just by and large, I think that's one of the things that FAMU is looking to do in the future. But there's nothing like playoff football. Like, let me just say that it prepares you for NFL football in a way that the whole bowl system doesn't. There's pressure in playoff games. When you're in 3rd down and 4 in a playoff game, watching what that QB does at 3rd down and 4 is a big deal. And it's one of the reasons why I knew that Flacco was going to be successful on the pro level, because of what he did on the FCS.
Delaware. Yeah.
He was used to dealing with that pressure. So when he got to the playoffs, he was ready. He was there and ready to play, and it showed in that nice little playoff run that they had.
Oh, Mystical, I like this comment. You hitting on stuff. So can that show a better? Oh my God, Mr. Hemingway, you hit that on. I like that. Could that show? If you put your quarterbacks in that type of system, if in that type of playoff, you put in a Kill Glass, you put a Shador Sanders, you put a Rashawn McKay in a playoff system, how does their draft stock look now, winning 1 or maybe 2 games in that environment?
That's a big deal, because again, I'm seeing you in must-win situations. I'm seeing you again. Your acumen, because you're going to see different fronts, you're going to see different defenses, you're going to see different strategies. You're going to see all of those things when you play in the playoffs. Like when FAMU was in its under Billy Joe, that first year, 96, we played Troy State tough in Troy. We lost by, I think, 3 or 4 points in Troy, but our team was prepared to play. 97, we lost at Georgia Southern. We got down 35-0, came back, made a game of it, and boom. But then 98, we managed to beat Troy, and it turned a lot of heads. That's what got our QBs some play when it came to NFL draft time, and people, just people starting to look at them, because again, 3rd down and 10 during the regular season game is a whole lot different from 3rd down and 10 in a playoff game, and converting it and making it happen and making plays in playoffs just carries more weight. It just does. And it adds more prestige to your program. Now I will say Celebration Bowl is big, but it's not as prestigious as an NCAA national title. Let me be clear.
Okay.
Winning the NCAA national title is bigger than the Celebration Bowl. That doesn't pay off as much, but from a prestige standpoint and from a relevancy standpoint, winning the national title is bigger. The end.
I like that. All right, I got a couple callers on here.
Hey,
caller, you live. Talk to us.
Hey, Scotty.
What's
how
up?
You doing?
What's up?
All right, I'm here. Well, I know Kofi real well, and Kofi knows me. But I was calling to touch base regarding 2 or 3 comments that you all made in regards to the Celebration Bowl. I used to work in FAMU Athletics, and the Celebration Bowl was created by Ken Free, who was the commissioner for the MEAC, and I forgot the SWAC commissioner at that time. When they decided to play in the Celebration Bowl, both conferences have foregone to go into the playoffs. So even if you have a team that's 9-2 or 10-1, because of the Celebration Bowl, it starts after the playoffs. You will not be eligible to go into the playoffs. Also, when Kofi mentioned about Coach Billy Joe, when you start playing a higher level competition or some of those schools outside of the conferences, you're absolutely right. Jawan Sider got drafted. Also, Quentin Gray, and then we had a running back that was Kenny Williams. Kenny Williams actually signed a free agency with Jacksonville, but that was the same year they had all these running backs out of from Florida State, who were pretty much the same dimension, 6'3", 250 pounds, and can truck everybody. But maybe some people from the SWAC can offer us more information. Kofi, this is me, Dexter.
I know who this is.
That's just from my experience working in athletics and what I'm somewhat familiar of that department, or should I say how the Celebration Bowl does not allow playoff teams from the MEAC or SWAC, if I'm correct.
You are correct. And, just really from that, when it comes to the second place teams, if they're eligible and they're ranked high enough, they'll have an opportunity to play in the FCS playoffs. So, obviously your first place team does not have a choice in that matter. They have to go to the Celebration. But if you finish second in SWAC East or SWAC West, and you are ranked within that regional ranking or within that FCS playoff committee's range of playoff teams, you can go to the playoffs.
Okay, well, I can tell you that the Celebration Bowl actually came after, I think, when Billy Joe left.
Oh, it did.
The thing about it is the only time two teams went to the playoffs was Bethune and FAMU, and I want to say A&T also went one year together, all three of us, if I'm not mistaken, maybe just two. But that was before the Celebration Bowl. But I'm going to take your word on it. I'm going to yield to you, and hopefully the SWAC will go ahead and have teams high enough ranked within the top 14 to get in.
I appreciate the call, my guy. Now, Mr. Coffee, that goes back to your point of, and both of our points of who you scheduling and who you beating.
You have to schedule these teams. You have to schedule the FCS teams within your region. Whether it's SWAC teams should be playing OVC teams or Big South teams, your Kennesaw States. And we have to not only play those games, we have to win those games. And that will help to change the whole perception of the conference going forward and our teams going forward and what HBCU football is going to look like.
Exactly. Another caller for you, Mr. Coffee. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to us.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. You live.
Hey, look, it's Wilson. Hey, look, just real quick. I called in again last time about that Celebration Bowl FCS deal. Totally agree with Coach. We got to schedule ranked teams and some quality teams outside of SWAC and MEAC, and we got to go out and beat them. What I want to point out though is, with the money part is about this year. Yeah, got it. You're not gonna make money, but you are gonna make, I think, it in on recruiting and just the fan base. Just because once you get, like you say, a head turn, you get your fanfare up. You win, you go deep in the playoffs. You show you got some quality kids. I mean, it's going to keep it going, and you can build a program. What I want to know though is, out of say, Alabama A&M, Jackson State, and maybe FAMU, which one of those three teams do you think, hey, if they had a chance to go to the FCS playoffs, maybe about the next 2 or 3 years, who do you think could actually go out and put work in and actually win and get past the first round, second round?
I appreciate the call.
Okay, so any one of those teams, and I would include Prairie View within that conversation as well. Everything when it comes down to playoff time comes down to your QB play and your level of defense. If you do not have a quarterback come playoff time, you're simply not going to win. Playoff games are decided by your consistency level and turnovers. You turn the ball over, you lose. And but if you have an efficient offense and somebody that can run it, you're going to do well. And I think that I think from an athletic standpoint, we have proven that it's possible. I think that FAMU's already got a pretty decent track record in the playoffs. I think with the number of get more 5 stars that Jackson State has on their squad, they're going to be able to compete. Alabama A&M has the QB, but their defense sucks. They would not do well come FCS playoff time because of their defense. Just straight up, they would not. They get killed.
straight shootout. I'm gonna take 2 more callers, Mr. Kofi, and we're gonna be out of here.
Okay.
Hey, caller, you live. Talk to us. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey. Got it. What's happening with you, baby?
What's good?
Huh? This is the truth. I told you I was gonna call you back. Hey, first of all, sir, Mr. FAMU, welcome to the SWAT. Welcome. Now let me tell you something there, baby. You got to start off with them good old boys over there in Alabama. You know, they got a little bit of red beans and rice, a little something over there, a little something. Then you got to come on over there to them country boys in Mississippi down there. Then when you get through, you come on down there to Louisiana and get some of this old gumbo, baby. We got all kind of flavor there. Then you got to go up there to Arkansas. Get on up there and deal with them old hogs and pigs and shit. Then you got to go to everything bigger in Texas. Baby, this ain't the MEAC no more. You in for it. So, baby, we got it for you. And like I say, fam, you come on, baby. I will goddamn it. Look, I love to get down there in the swamp and get me one of them old king cobras or whatever y'all call them folks down there in FAMU land, alligator, half snake, half man, whatever. Bring it on down, baby. It's a whole new situation y'all got going on down here. You heard me, baby? But on the real talk, though, man, Scotty, I really hope at the end of the season that you can really do a high school recruiting show to highlight these young men going to these HBCUs.
Most definitely.
Or see how can we get them there.
Yeah, most definitely. We can make that happen. I'll talk to some people, see if we can. And if anybody has my DM or Instagram, you can always send me over. I get people sending me over kids to interview or talk about all the time. So yeah, if we can make that happen, it's too easy.
Okay then, bro. Hey, once again, brother, welcome. And come on down here to Louisiana, baby. We got some of that old gumbo for your ass.
I'll be down there.
Have a good night,
be down there for the pool box.
You ain't got to tell me. My mom went to Alcorn State University. The rest of my family went to Jackson State. And my mom's first teaching job was at Southern University. So I have all kind of family. I've marched in the band at FAMU. So going to Baton Rouge, going to New Orleans is one of the highlights. And I will be in Baton Rouge come this game. So yeah. You know the Southern fans, they can't help but say, Brad, you knew that when he came up in there, that he was from baby. You knew as soon as he said that ain't even Grambling North. You already knew all that
from the boot
and stuff.
From the boot. All right, last caller. Oh my God, that was funny. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to us.
Yeah. Comfort, I want to ask you, everybody brings up about scheduling these guys and these other teams. So I guess my question is, how do you propose that we do that, being that we have 11 games, 8 of those 11 games are conference. Every other odd year, I guess, or so, you might have 12. But with 8 of those games being conference games, you and us being committed to playing money game in particular, I'm looking at FAMU, y'all playing 2 or 3 of them. So how do you propose to put these teams in that schedule? Because you only have so many games, and you just can't schedule them just because you want to schedule them. You know, they have scheduling priorities just like everybody else. Now, I'm not against it. Don't understand where I'm coming from. I'm just trying. I mean, everybody always
make it
talk
make sense.
about
Yeah, make it make sense.
But
I get
you and I both know it's not that easy.
Yeah.
Now, here's what I'm going to say to that. Like, FAMU is playing the University of South Alabama in a couple of years. That's a game we need to freaking win. Alcorn almost beat them this year. These are games that we have to win. The games that Southern University has versus Troy. These are games that we have to win. Now, they're on a different level, but these are games that we have to win. It helps the game respect. Now, it's all a matter of philosophy. Our AD has already outscheduled our stuff, but it would be nothing for us, like for FAMU to play a Kennesaw State, who is right in the Atlanta area, which is be right up Rattler Nation's alley, which would actually be a good game from a relevancy standpoint, and also financially, it would be a win-win deal. But you know, you got to get our weight up and get it there. But it comes down to the philosophy. Your AD, your football coach, they have to be on the same page, and that's really where that whole conversation starts. When it comes to that, when you play the big money games, those big money games don't just fund the football program. They also fund your Olympic sports that don't get any revenue, your baseballs, your tennises, your softballs.
My question is, not to cut you off, my question is, with that being the case, how do you get in more of those top FCS schools? Like
it's a decision, bro. It's just a decision. Your AD, our AD, has to make that decision and commitment and say, we're going to try to do whatever we got to play Kennesaw State. We're going to do whatever we got to play. Who's the national champion this past spring?
Sam Houston.
Right.
State.
We're going to do whatever we got to play Sam Houston. We're going to do whatever we got to play.
And how do you suppose we make up that money from those SBS games?
Right. And really, it's all about what I would say is this is going to go into a whole different conversation. I don't want to do that because all right.
No. I mean, I just keep it short.
Just really with that, when it comes to the whole marketing.
PM you.
No, you're good. When it comes down to the whole marketing aspect of our HBCU sports, we really do have to step up that game when it comes to our ticket sales, when it comes to the branding of our program and how our programs are perceived. No matter what city that we're staying in. I get it from the standpoint of, the D2 schools, like FAMU has a philosophy right now where we are playing the regional D2 schools, your Fort Valleys, your Albany States, largely because those people bring a ton of people to Bragg Stadium. So we get over that 20,000 mark. So you're generating revenue. So you're making in excess of over $500,000. When we play the PWIs that a lot of our fans are not necessarily used to, they don't necessarily show up like that. And that just is something that has to change. Because at the end of the day,
you gotta have a relationship. Like for instance, like locally here in Louisiana, it's a little different because there's so many of us, and everybody's got some kind of connection, a cousin or nephew, or somebody that's going to a school.
Right. Now, lastly, what I would say is this: back in the late 90s, late 80s, early 90s, FAMU and the other schools, we played the Furmans, we played Georgia Southern, we played Troy on a consistent basis. But all those schools then moved up the one to the FBS level. So that changed a lot of stuff. And so we've got to establish new relationships with the teams that are still available. What I would pay attention to is what's happening right now with the OVC and the Big South. Murray State's leaving, Austin Peay's leaving. And I'm looking for Tennessee State to go ahead and make whatever decision they're going to make about the SWAC before 2022.
Right. Well, I'm gonna say this, and before I go on, I have to respectfully disagree with you on the prestige of the FCS playoff versus Celebration Bowl. I know we'll probably agree to disagree on this, but I don't. I mean, it's just a fact. I don't think you have to be in the playoff to be looked at for as NFL caliber players. I mean, you look at, for instance, Southern never participated in any period from the time it started, and when they put out the new format and they changed the start date and put out the new format where you had to pay to play, they just never participated. And during that period, we had Gerald Perry, Aeneas Williams, Maurice Hurst, Jerry Wilson, and several other girls in the league. As a matter of fact, those were during the time when we were at the top, we were beating every shooting draft.
Can I ask you a question?
But anyway, I enjoy the show. Y'all have a good day.
Yeah, he was gonna run from that one because this is what I have a problem with when people say that, right? And they love it. Like a lot of times, you're talking about 70s and 80s football, and you're talking about when everybody knew what kind of talent you had. Everybody knew what you had coming out of the SWAC. Everybody, you had Doug Williams, Walter Payton. I mean, you had talent after talent after. I mean, people were going down there to get players because they knew what you had. Now it's so diverse, it's so spread out, and the SWAC and the football hasn't gone back to that level. So it's like I'm picking and choosing onesies and twosies, and I might miss a couple guys. I might not get to see that guy. I might not get to see like. A good example is, and I don't like money games. I really don't. But you got Jacquez Payton at Alabama State and Ezra Gray going against Auburn. They have a great game. That's a good look for them. Do you need the playoffs? No. Does it help? Yes. Like let's not act like it doesn't help. That's my only thing with that. So, but we'll go. I mean, people go back and forth with it, back and forth with it, back and forth with it. So
yeah, we got one more. Is that it?
That's it. That is it, Mr. Coffee. Hey, listen, anytime, well, after y'all lose, you can always come back on too and talk about the game.
We're not going to lose, so you can hang that up.
First of all, I'm 6-1. This is what I do. So I'm planning on be 7-1. I just appreciate you. But no, if I do a post-game show. If you want to come back on that Sunday, if you got anything to do on Sunday, if you want to come back later on, you can come back on and talk about the game as well. And any in that Alabama A&M FAMU matchup, I'm gonna hit you up. Because I'm going for them Bulldogs. I don't believe. No, you stop, because I don't believe in McKay. Do not believe in McKay. But please shout out your show. Please tell people where they can find you at and watch your stuff.
The ONG Strike Zone is on Wednesdays at 8:00 p.m. That's the ONG for Orange and Green. Strike Zone again is Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on Wednesday Eastern Standard Time.
Y'all talking about it says Strike Zone. You talking about bowling? We talking about baseball? What y'all talking about?
You trying me again?
I want people to understand, so I didn't know.
Strike Zone, Rattlers Strike. If you get next to a rattlesnake, and you go bowling, and the rattlesnake is there, this pick with strike you're gonna run away from.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay, so say that again. I'm sorry. My bad.
The ONG Strike Zone, because Rattlers strike, and strike again. Okay, so check us out on Wednesdays at 8:00 p.m. We talk SWAC football, we talk FAMU football, we talk FAMU sports, athletics, and a number of different things as it pertains to HBCU sports. So we cover it all. So I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, but once again, thank you so much, Mr. Hemingway, for joining me and talking about the games.
Yes, sir.
We'll see. Listen, don't go ducking and hiding. Don't go ducking and hiding.
Nobody ducking and hiding. Obviously,
it's Saturday game. What time y'all play? 6 or 3?
It starts at 6:00 p.m.
6 o'clock. Okay. Yeah. So don't go ducking. Don't go ducking.
Nobody ducking. Ain't nobody ducking. You don't go ducking. How about that?
I'm here. Everybody know me. I'll be on here on the regular.
We're all right now. Come on now.
And you can call in too on the post game. Yeah, call in for the post game show.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so we'll make that happen. But thank you so much for your time, and I would love to have you back. And I hope you have you make some time for me.
Oh, absolutely, man. I love that. Right. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you so much. Hey, man, that is Mr. Hemingway. Y'all make sure y'all tune into his stuff. The Orange and Green Strike Zone. I think they're bowling. If they're not bowling, they might be. I don't know. They might be talking about football. Could be talking about baseball. Who knows? It's called the Strike Zone. All right. So listen, guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys are locked into the pregame show. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 pregame shows. Stick with me. All right. I'm gonna do a very short one for the Grambling and Alabama A&M game. It's not gonna be too long. We all know who's gonna win the game, so I'm not gonna make it that long. It's gonna be probably about 30 minutes or whatever. I'm not really gonna do a watch party. I'm gonna just watch the game on my own. But that FAMU and Alabama State game, pregame is locked. We in there, all right. 5:00 Eastern Standard Time. You already know it's a $100 giveaway. Post game show is gonna be lit. That's the other game of the week. All right, so we're gonna make sure that locked in. Make sure you get locked in. 5:00 pregame show. FAMU Alabama State watch party. Everything coming with that game. The whole palette. All right, that's what we're doing. So make sure you lock it in. So until next time, and listen, guys, listen. Before I go, don't call the pregame show talking about Jackson State and Alabama A&M. That does not pop off until Monday. I'm going to say it again. Do not call the show on Saturday talking about Jackson State and Alabama A&M. I'm going to hang up on you. All right, off the rip. So, again, 5 o'clock pregame show, FAMU Alabama State, 2:30 Alabama A&M and Grambling. Keep it real short and sweet. If you want to talk about the game, cool. We all know who's going to win it, so not that big a deal. All right. So until next time, hey, tell them again. Tell them again. All right. So until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holla. God bless.